So I guess I don't even need to say, because I was gonna say, do you believe that a boy or man should mask their emotions? We all just answered that.
So
Hell no, don't mask your emotions. Go ahead, go ahead.
I feel like no, they should not. But I can speak from this from a female and a male perspective because of what I do. I deal with children in the mental health sector. And me personally, when I was growing up, I didn't get that emotional ties that I need. Like my mom, like she was a good mom, you know, and everything like that. But I feel like I didn't get that emotional part, you know, or support from her. And I feel like as a man or a boy, if they don't get that emotional type of deal, like support, then it goes into the, like, you know, their upbringing, how they are when they get older. And I see some of that in my clients that I deal with, you know, them not getting that emotional support. And I'm like, oh no, like, we got to fix this now. Like, I have one client that I really, like, push, like, emotional interventions and everything just so she gets what she's lacking, you know, or she learns how to get it within herself. So if she's not getting it from who she needs to get it from, then she can, you know, learn how to navigate through life and just, you know, love on herself so she won't lack in any areas. But I feel like men, boy, women, girl, whatever, you should be able to express your emotions freely how you want.
So did I hear that right? You said master your emotions?
No, mask.
Oh,
like
mask. Oh, okay.
said,
I'm like,
no.
no, you should master your emotions.
No, that's what I said.
Wait,
No.
I got a rebuttal. No, but
No.
masking your emotions.
Mask
Yeah,
their
no.
emotions. Yeah.
That's horrible because then you're holding everything in.
Yeah, I mean, and the long-term effects of masking your emotions is almost deadly. I mean, you're going to pop off.
Yeah.
You know, that tension has to go somewhere. It's not just going. It's pressure. Mm-hmm. It's not going to just
pressure bake pipe.
You're gonna bust.
Pressure break pipes. Okay.
Listen. So, let's talk about culture backgrounds, okay? Because I just was speaking Spanish or whatever. How do you think different cultures and backgrounds influence the occurrence of toxic masculinity?
Oh Lord.
African American culture.
Listen, Hispanic culture.
I'm just saying,
You know,
It's big
in
time.
our culture, like specifically, like, you know, the man, like, he got to be this way. He got to be hard. Like Anton was saying, he has to be this way. He has to be a certain way. If he not, then he weak. You know.
So I'll come at it from a positive role again. I do think we're changing that narrative. I do think with social media, the positive side of social media, and you get to experience and see more. That you do get to see more people.
Are you speaking for the African American experience?
Yeah, I can only. That's all I can speak
Okay.
from the African American. Because I feel like we've come a short way in a long time, and we're still progressing. Just from what I see, like the amount of people I have reaching out, like, so I've been, 5 years. So 5 years. 5 years ago, I had an incident. It forced me to go to therapy. Like I had trauma, PTSD. I had to go to therapy. So in that time, I was like, okay, this must be needed everywhere because I can't be the only person experiencing this. I'm not the only person that will come from where I come from.
There you go.
So in 5 years, I've seen the difference in just people asking me for therapists and people. So I think the mask is starting to like crumble. Is it going to go away 100%? No, nothing ever is absolute. But I do think we have progressed a little bit, and I do think we're making a difference in the turn for the good.
I would agree to that. Even within my own family, I mean, both sides of my family, largely, having stepped into my current role, right? I see how open people are to, you know, even no matter how unwanted they are with discussing their problems with me, stuff that they don't feel comfortable about themselves, like, you know, and I listen and I provide enough feedback to where, you know, it doesn't infringe on like my professional stuff, but still, like, you know, my family they're more open to expressing themselves, whereas when I was younger, like my mom and her siblings, that was just something that wouldn't happen. Even younger, you know, oh, that's just how they are, or, you know,
that's how we was raised.
That's how we was raised.
Yeah.
Now, you know, those same aunties who had that same posture are having their children, and in a lot of cases, their grandchildren, hey, you need to call Dante. You know, something's wrong. Call Dante, talk to Dante.
Call Angel. Where Angel
which is crazy. Unfortunately, like, as the older generation die off, the younger generation are being exposed to it already. So it's not like it's not a teaching. It's normal.
Correct.
So for them, you know, it was white people magic, or you know, therapy is for the rich people.
Right.
Those are not black people problems. You know, we just grit ourselves up and go with the flow, and you know, we work through this and all that. So
and a lot of the disposition for that same generation you're speaking to was they were very religious, and that they felt that if God can do it, nobody could.
All things are possible.
Right. So if God made you like that, or if you need to pray about it, if something's wrong, pray about it, and God will fix it. They were never deferred to a mental health professional because that was how they sought help and where they pulled their strength from.
Which is crazy because like when I had my situation, when I had a conversation with my pastor and we were having a conversation, he was like, are you going to be okay? I was like, nah, this is forever going to change who I am, which is, I'm glad it did in the positive. And he was like, well, what are you going to do about it? I said, I got you. I'm going to go get a therapist, and I'm going to rely on my friends and family to get me through this. And that's exactly what I've been doing for the last 5 years. Him, he's my mentor, them, and my therapist. And that's what's got me through. So it was a spiritual, the natural and the physical. So it was like you gotta have a support group. Yeah. You gotta have a team of people. And I tell people all the time, I know it's hard out here to find genuine people, but if you get you some genuine people, hold on to them.
Yeah.
Hold on. And I'm talking about I am grateful. Shout out to my squad. They know who they are. Like my group of friends, I wouldn't trade them for the world. And like it's crazy because I try to show my daughter what it's like to be able to just fall. And to know somebody's gonna catch you before you hit the ground.
Come on here.
I'm like, that's different.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I don't like, you're gonna experience a lot of things. I pray that she gets to experience that. Like just to be able to fall freely, and it's hard because now you got to trust people. If you fall backwards, you ain't looking at the ground. You got to freely fall and trust people, and to know you got people that's gonna be there to catch you before you hit that concrete.
Come on,
that's different.
Come on.
And I'm grateful for that.
You know what to say.
I am grateful for that. Like they know. I always tell them that. I'm forever grateful for that, for having that.
Yeah. Speaking from outside of the African American experience, having been married to a different culture, I understand that our views, the African American experience, is different for other cultures. I mean, just in my own situation, where the masculinity or ideal of it belongs to one person, and in my situation, now you have two options. Right, so it's hard for my in-laws to wrap their head around the fact that it's not going to look like how it was for them.
Right.
And then we're constantly breaking barriers. I mean, we got
look at
like you thought kids were an option, well we got one. You thought this were not. Now we can do that.
Okay.
I'll climb on a ladder. I'll cut some grass. And I think that ruffles a lot of feathers, but I think that it forces them into one. Deal with their own personal issues and confront those things, and it allows them to see that hey, there's other ways of doing stuff that doesn't necessarily in adversity.
Yep. Right? And I got a lot of friends that are like Hispanic and Latinos, and I've seen it, and just talking, and this is from personal experience, even just having conversations, and one of them was just on the last episode, and she would tell me the men are they have to be, you know what I'm saying, and women just listen and
men won't even cook. They won't even step foot in the kitchen.
No matter it's in the Hispanic
cook,
like it's.
All right, look here. Okay.
Listen, I've seen it, and it's just like, and I'm like, wait a minute, like, and it's like they listen to them. They're dominant, and they sit.
There's no talking back.
There's everything, and I'm just
the postures is different. Like if two dudes, if a woman are at the table and then I come in, and then you sit down, they're gonna get up and walk out because at that point the men are talking.
And those cultures,
there's hey, look here, son.
And you have different, Hispanics and Latinos. There's different cultures, whether you're Colombian, Peruvian, Latino, Dominican. You know what I'm saying?
They're heavily religious though, too, if I'm correct, right?
Very Catholic.
There you go. And so when you and seeing it firsthand. I walk in and be like, "What's she doing?"
Man,
what do you mean what I'm doing?
I remember
like this is my culture.
Peruvian Independence Day is in August, so that's when they celebrate. It's a whole thing. We have like 1 million people at our house, right? And I remember in there, I was gonna make cornbread, and you see all these ladies just standing back, looking at me like, "What are you doing? What are you doing in the kitchen?" And they just come in like moving my hands. I got it. We'll do it. No, first of all, you're in my house. I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's foreign to them. Grocery shopping. There's a Hispanic grocery store in Baldwin, right off 141. There's no men in there, except the employees. You know what I'm saying?
Online shopping for me. I'm getting it delivered. Now that I'll take from their culture. I don't want to be in a grocery store all day. I'll do online shopping. But
it's
I'll
listen,
take the rest
when you see it, and that's one thing I always talk to kids about exposing themselves to other cultures and just outside of your city limits.
So you,
Go on vacation. Go do
so
something.
you're saying you travel a lot, basically.
Mind your business. You know?
If you know, you know.
Shout out the passport.
Period.
It got stamped.
Period.
I'll be on the beach next month, you know?
Mark him up.
Look,
You know, we're not making this about me. It's about men today, all right? Because these young boys need to know these things now.
Yeah.
They don't need to be having this conversation. You know what? I would rather them have a conversation later and discuss how they saw it growing up, and the narrative is different than what we saw. Because they heard from us and y'all as men and just positive men around them. The narrative has changed.
Yeah.
And that's what I want them to talk about. I wanted them to be comfortable having a conversation with their boys. Man, you got a good therapist I can see. Go to lunch or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Go get pedicures together and be like, hey, look here, man. That's not what I learned, man. Let me tell you what I learned. Checking one another, you know, letting them know, hold on, this is a good thing, you know, that ain't no bad thing. Hey, man, when she see you walk in that room, you got that bad energy, man, she ain't gonna deal with you. You ain't gotta act like that, man. You ain't gotta relax. Somebody gotta be able to tell them if they can tell each other that, but they can learn that now.
Yeah.
And that's my job now. Get these kids this information now.
Yeah, I saw it. I want to say last week. Last week I was at one of the public schools in Chicago, and this I was doing an in-service, and this dude, the young lady, the teacher asked the young man to put his phone away, and the dude was trying to like rip her to shreds. His homeboy reached over, hey, no, it's you. You're being the problem right
you're
now.
the problem.
Come on.
Man, and the teacher, she was like, Nelson. You know what I'm saying? Like, she couldn't believe it. Like, dude checked his homeboy, but like,
In a calm way.
In a calm way. He said, no,
it's
you.
yeah.
It's you.
Yes,
Because
that's it.
he was gearing up. He's about to release the clutch.
Hold
And-
each other
and I've seen-
accountable.
and
And
I've
it's
seen-
crazy.
and I've seen-
That's crazy.
and
That
I've
was
seen
so dope.
kids do that.
That was dope.
I've
Yeah.
seen kids do that. Hey, man, you talking in line, and she said, be quiet.
Yeah.
When you see that, you like,
Trying
you
to
know
get the
what?
lunch. Trying to get the lunch.
They know.
Trying
You
to
know,
get the lunch.
and you know what? That's the big one right there.
Trying to get the lunch.
Hey, man, we 10 minutes late for lunch because of you.
Hey, bro.
You know what I'm saying? When you hear that, kids don't realize that teachers and adults recognize that. That's a leadership ability that you have. Don't be afraid to shine light on that because you're making that person better.
Correct. And other kids are seeing it as well. To know
Yeah. Motivate, influence, and inspire. Motivate them to do better.
And if kids take nothing else from the Angels Online, from this show specifically, therapy is important.
So
Okay?
important. I started 5 years ago. I started a list of collecting like African American therapists, females and males in St. Louis, just so I could get them out. Like, hey, yo, this is a list of people. Like, use it as you may. I tell people to date their therapist. So take the initial session, figure out what you want, like what you care. Because I have questions I asked. I have 5 questions I asked the therapist before we sit down. So, hey, these are my questions. Hey, you know, check. Okay, cool. All right, we can do this. But I think that's super important. Now I saw something on The Shy where, and I kind of want to start doing this here on the TV show The Shy.
Hold on, wait. What season are you about to
Oh,
talk
Lord,
about?
The
I'm not gonna say
You're gonna
what
ruin
season.
something.
I'm not gonna ruin anything, but I saw something on the TV show. Dang, I can't erase it now. Where the men got together. It was 6 men, and they got together in a room, no judgment. And the start of the conversation was, how can we help you be better?
Yep.
And that did something for me because like you don't have those spaces for men to do that.
Correct.
You don't like kill the toxic. You kill the toxic right there.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going through, and how can we help you?
Have you ever
Honestly.
heard of the Village Path?
No, I haven't.
Oh my man, it's that in St. Louis.
Okay.
Is that
Okay. Yeah. It's
man?
like literally like a group of men sitting down, and it could be brothers, it could be family, it could be friends, or however you want to do it. If we could just get that in neighborhoods, settings, I guarantee you'll see a difference.
Because men matter.
Listen,
And-
once
and
the
you
angels
guys-
come and don't
it's
worry
crazy.
about it.
It's crazy because it's like the conversation, and I'm glad I have a
Do you
circle.
all do shop talk?
So we do man talk. We was doing man talk, and then we have a community online where it's like 4,000 or more men now, where you talk about anything, open conversation, open dialogue about anything you
That's
want.
it. That's
doesn't,
what- that's what
and,
we're
it, and
doing.
it doesn't leave our space. It doesn't leave our
what the
space
thing
at
is.
all. So like just having those conversations, and I think it's different online than it is in person because online is effective, but sitting down with you and we could commune, drink, or have some wine, or whatever it is. It could be some food or something. Us talking personal and breaking bread, and I think food is very important about breaking bread. It's something different about having a conversation or breaking bread with someone. It's a different connection.
Man, look here.
So
you digest mentally and physically, and it all works.
So it's crazy. So it's like having that conversation and talking to people and being able to talk to a group of men and say, hey, we're here for you, whatever you may need. If it's something small as, hey, I'll call you and say, hey, bro, how your day going? Are you being accountable today? It could be something small. It don't have to. People think we gotta take these big, gigantic leaps as people to move forward. It could be small steps.
Create bigger things, bigger outcomes.
I'm telling you. I definitely I check on my people all the time. I've had some people reach out to me for what I've been going through, but like I'm always checking on people randomly. Like, hey, bro, how's it going? Did you make that decision? Did you do this better? Did this change? What are we doing? Her. So
yes. So my last question I have is, what are some mental? It's not the last. It's the second to last. What are some mental barriers that you think men face from the concept of masculinity?
Let bro go.
Okay, I get to jump in there. Okay, y'all was killing the last one. I was like, let me fall back. I know my place.
Look, come on.
Go ahead and talk, bro.
Listen, it's open dialogue, baby.
No, y'all was killing it. I was in all agreements on that last one. I couldn't say nothing else. But on this question here, let me dig into this one.
I'm gonna say it again.
One more time now.
I'm gonna say it again so that way whatever kid or adult is listening will get it. What are some mental barriers that you think men face from the concept of masculinity?
Okay, cool. I think it's the definition of it when it comes to our culture and the rest of the world. What I've learned is that as human beings, the way we learn is by repetitiveness, right? I mean, I think we can all agree to that. Yeah. So you're hearing something over and over again. When you're a kid, you're doing a spelling test, you spell that word 10,000 times till you know that word,
Practice.
And it's repetitiveness. But within our culture, that's the only thing I can really speak about. We repeat masculinity in the most negative ways that our children aren't getting a true understanding of, because when they see a black male is either disrespecting a woman, disrespecting his fellow brother, trying to kill somebody, trying to mismanage his own anger, there's no consistent positive examples out there in the world. It's so many negative examples. So I would tell any kid, especially a young boy, that don't listen to the examples that the world gives you. I always tell any single mother I talk to, find a positive male example, because the world is already trying to give your son so many negative examples on a consistent basis. So that repetitiveness over and over and over again, even listening to the radio, watching the television, looking at the social media, every single direction that these children are getting hit from is a negative example of what masculinity is. So now our new age boys are thinking masculinity is, they think sagging is masculine. It's that's masculine, and us as older men, we like, well, we know where they came from. We know it's nothing masculine to it. It's not swag. It's just, no, it's wrong. Or, you think that being disrespectful to women is masculine. That's definitely not masculine. But those are the examples that they're getting on a consistent basis. So that's the only thing I can say in this regards to this one. Looks like masculinity is not those examples that you see in the world. They're repetitive examples. Masculinity is something that you have to be exposed to properly in order to truly absorb it.
I was gonna say representation is key. Like he said, like I think representation is huge. Like seeing a positive role model, seeing a positive, and it has to be positive. That's what break the barriers. Like all the time I ask people, and because the big thing right now is calling men sassy, and I'm getting to any new trends that are negative. Like, why are you calling men sassy? Like, why is it okay for you? I asked them, I'm like, are you
normal?
Like, why is this a trend? So you say you want a man to be a man, however that looks for you, but then you go online and call this man sassy for doing something that you didn't like, that doesn't fit your idea of being a man. And you're a woman, you're not even a man, so you don't know the true identity of being a man, except for the examples, the positive examples that you say you saw of being a man. Like how dare you call someone sassy for doing whatever they like to do? And I've seen it online repetitively, and then my thing be like, oh man, what if she got a son? Like, so she's going around calling men sassy, and he sees everything. That's why I tell people all the time, like, I don't care. You can have 80 mentors. It starts at home.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
Come
listen.
on.
And men,
If this ain't what the angels are like
and,
about, come
and
on.
men, we got to get home. I don't care, be getting them kids' lives. I don't care what she got. And I know it's loops. I know some of y'all are going through loops. I know some of y'all are going through all kinds of stuff. And women, if you're listening, let these men come home. Not necessarily to be with y'all, but to be in those children's lives. Like that's gotta be it's gotta be there. It's gotta be there. Like it's gotta be a thing because like I look at the difference. I just play in my daughter's life. Like I look at it like from jump. Like no, you got rules. Like there's rules. There's boundaries. There's consequences. Everything we talk. There's nothing off limits. I'm talking to you about everything is on the table and we're talking about it because it has to be discussed because can't nobody else teach you nothing. I don't want you learning nothing from the outside that you can't learn at home.
Correct.
And if you learn it, we gonna break it down.
Yep.
So it starts at home.
You gotta have that conversation.
Like if you don't have that, like the fact that I tell people, my daughter gets in trouble for bringing home a B. It drives people crazy.
That's normal. That's
It's
normal.
excellent. Like
Look here.
Why would I want my
here.
seed to produce anything other than excellence? I didn't do it.
Come
So
on.
my job isn't to give you everything I didn't have. My job is to teach you everything I didn't know.
Come on. Welcome to the Angels of Life. You got
Like,
to teach them now.
That's it.
Come on.
Like that's never been my job. Cause I'm into shoes. I love shoes. My daughter can't buy shoes. My daughter can't take care of her shoes. None of that. So she's gonna get whatever I can afford. But I guarantee you, she got straight A's coming in that door.
Right.
I guarantee you, she's in every extracurricular activity that she can be in. Anything that I do is not emotional. It's calculated. My daughter was having some problems focusing. Guess what I put her in? Swim.
Yep.
I put her in swim because she's in a lane by herself. She's excelled at everything
you
else.
ain't finna drown around here, baby.
Well, no, not even. No, she's on a swim team. Not even like learning how to swim. She's on a swim.
Oh.
I put her on a swim team.
Come on.
Because now you're by yourself. It's you and that coach. If you lose, you lost by yourself. You are to receive these instructions and apply them. That's it.
Come on here.
It was calculated.
Oh, she can
she
swim.
could play soccer, but soccer she can blame other kids.
He ain't kicked the ball right.
I'm pulling you out of soccer. Let's focus on this. Now you're in a lane completely by yourself. If you win this race, it's because you practiced and you said, couldn't nobody else beat me at this.
And you stroked the hell out of
I'm
that.
going to take whatever my teacher taught me, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. And that was it.
Come on.
It's knowing your kid's strengths and weaknesses and applying them. You gotta start that at home. Like that's huge to me. I'm big on that home setting.
Yeah.
And we have a split home. Me and her mom split, but we're a team.
Yeah.
You ain't nope. You ain't coming between this team. We ain't
and that's
together.
important.
But we are a team.
Come on.
We are a team, and if anything, we're gonna make sure you're good. That's our job. Our job is just to make sure you're good and nothing else.
Correct.
And that's what I would love to see more of, even if it's not a two parent household. Like, let's do it for these kids. Take your emotions, and I know it's hard. Take your emotions out of it. What's best for the kid at the end of the day? That's how I go about anything for my daughter.
And the best part is if they got a second parent, like y'all, you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen like a mother who'll be like, well, he can come get his kid, and they be like, and the kid want to do the. But the crazy part is I got letters from kids who say, my daddy lied, my daddy expressing all this. And when you see that directly from a kid,
It tears them up, man. I was that kid.
It messed me up. I'm
I was like, there's no way I went through what I went through as a kid and would not be in my. And it's crazy because like, there's two types of people. You're either gonna be there or you're gonna run completely away. Because if your dad wasn't there, you're either gonna be there or run the opposite way. Because that you're gonna do what you're familiar with, or you're gonna challenge it. There's things I didn't know. So my daughter, you got to know those things. There's no way you're going into being a teenager and not knowing about credit and finances. My daughter has a balancing book now. She has her own debit card. You got to balance this. Oh, Daddy, how'd you know I spent that money? Because it's coming to my phone every time you spend it.
Yeah.
So tell me what you got left. Tell me how you're going to be accountable for this.
I mean, and that's it. That's the answer. I mean, you know, I haven't been doing this parenting thing for much long, but everything you say is the things that I had as a child. My dad, for whatever society say masculine is, my dad is not. You know, he can't fix anything. He can't change a tire. But the boy can cut some hair. But
boy, cold.
And he can run a business.
And
Multiple businesses at once.
Finances. My man, finances.
Look here.
He'll cut some grass on a good day, but he can't fix nothing. But finances and managing money, buying stuff, getting regenerative income. Oh, he has that answer. So guess what I learned? At 15, nope, I'm sorry. At 9, my dad, one of his side hustles was a DJ. I didn't probably been in every club in St. Louis, DJing because it was just us. So I help him, you know what I'm saying? Because he had no babysitter.
Help him set
You know what I'm
up.
saying? So I help him set up, sit behind the DJ booth while he out there partying on the floor like it's his party. Like it's his party. You know what I'm saying? And then we go home, and then, you know, he'll give me $25. He'll hand me $25, and he's like, you know what you need to do? I'll have them hand half of it back. He'll put it into a savings account for me. Then when I got a little older, I used to clean the shop on Sundays. He'll give me $35. He'll hand it to me. I have to hand him half of it right back. You know what I'm saying? And when I turned 20, I had 12 grand. You know what I'm saying? He said he gave me the 12 grand. I had to give half of it right back. You know, you know what I'm saying? But it bought my first car, man. I paid for, you know, my first couple years in college, and then, like, you know, money I understand.
You're
Money,
good,
and
you're good at
same
that.
thing I'm teaching Tony. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like you did the other day. How
Yeah.
much is the tip?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
I had
my son. I'm like, look, son,
Yeah.
calculate that. I don't care if you got to pull out your calculator.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Okay, at dinner time, let's tip 18 to 20%.
Yeah.
What do we have?
Yeah.
Tip them.
Yeah, I'm like, he
Just
got
sign your
a
name.
job. How much you get paid? You know, we start a bank account. How much you get paid? Okay, well, we're gonna do half of it. You know what I'm saying? You should be asking your mom to get your haircut. You should be asking your mom to buy shoes.
Nope.
But you're gonna save half that check though. You ain't got no choice. Pretend like you didn't even make half that check and get saved.
If you can't get
something
them shoes,
big
you
gonna
can't
come.
get them this time.
Something
You
big
gonna
gonna come, and you're gonna want it, and you need to be able to do that, man. You're 16 at this point. You've been an adult. You should be a little bit. Your independence should be reigning itself. Like, ain't nobody gonna let you fail, and ain't nobody let you go without. But you need to start being responsible. So that's it. That's it.
But now, you know, the other day when we went to dinner, it was a surprise for him to see me, and I was like, "Are you paying for my dinner?" And he said, "I left my wallet at home." I said, "You didn't know you were gonna see me, did you?" He said, "The last minute I did." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "You would usually buy me dinner, huh?" He was like, "Yes, ma'am." I was like, "Don't worry about it. We got it." But I bet now he thinks
Ahead of time.
I better, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
I
you know
got
it's
a
his
job.
responsibility.
It's
First
good.
of all,
Correct.
It's good
and I
practice.
hate to say this on this toxic masculinity episode, but I told that man, that boy, because he's my son too.
Yeah.
I said, ain't no way you finna live there and let no woman pay for her own food. You know, you ain't finna sit on a table with no women and let them pay for their own food.
That's not necessarily toxic. That's just you teaching him how to, you know, like properly be a man. And it's crazy, like all the positive things we said here today. Somebody could spin it around and say, "Oh, well, that's toxic too."
Yeah, no, that's valid. That's
Like
valid.
everybody
That's
could
valid.
you could take everything that's positive and turn it around.
And it might not be not any woman, you know what I'm saying? It was more like, hold on,
Yeah.
why is
yeah.
Angel at the table?
Yeah.
And why is Angel? Why you ain't paying for Angel meal?
Oh, so she's beneath you because you're making him pay for her. No,
You know-
I'm teaching him mannerism and teaching
Right.
him, you know, the
Why is Angel paying? Now
proper
you
technique.
can go with your friends or whatever, and your friends, you know,
Right.
that's a different ball game. But it's like, why is Angel paying for her
Correct.
meal?
And
Because she done taught you already. You know,
Yeah.
you done. Hell, you wasn't going to class when you met her.
Yeah.
Now you're going to school every day. You're graduating early.
It's gratitude.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying?
definitely gratitude.
And, and
Appreciation.
all those little things he's learning. But it wasn't nothing negative. It was just a teaching moment.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you wasn't really going to pay for it.
It was
But
just,
we
it
ain't
was just,
telling
yeah.
that. But it was like, it's a teaching moment.
But
You
those
know
things
what I'm
have to be
saying?
learned in the proverbial home.
Like,
Even if it's not.
and at a young age,
Mm-hmm.
and at a young age,
Our job is to get him the tools now.
I found out I had a hard time reading because no one read to me.
Come on here. That's it.
I found that out. And it triggered like when I was older, when my daughter was pronounced, when she was found that night I read to her in the womb. My daughter has a library full of books now. Like I have to give her books away.
That's perfect.
That's
because
awesome.
of it has it's just he said it, we're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
We're creatures of habit. We
Yep.
learn something and we do it and we do it and do it until we don't know how to do it no more.
Yep.
So I was like, she got to read.
Awesome.
Like just teaching her how to read from the jump.
Yeah.
When I knew we were gonna struggle in kindergarten because when we got to kindergarten, they were like, well, at the beginning of the year we want them to, we want you guys to read to them, and then by the end of the year we want them to read to you. I was like, well, no, she can read now. Like we're not like you gonna have to give her somebody else work or first grade work. 'Cause, like
Yo, I love it for sure. Everything that you brothers are dope. We gonna have to get together and really have this conversation on a whole nother level. But yeah, this when it comes to toxic masculinity and it's thinking about it, the examples that we put out consistently make us who we are, of course, and you guys hit it on the head. The example that you guys are putting out is perfect, and that's something that I hope everybody is hearing, because you fellas are the exact reason why there are going to be at least 2, 3, 4, 10 boys that grow to be better men because they're getting that proper example from you guys. I hope to produce as many as I possibly humanly can as far as young boys who become men just because, Anton gave them this example and taught them this lesson.
And I know you are. I mean, and I don't mean to put your business out here on my own, but a couple weeks ago at the
at an event that we came to for you,
we had the park around the corner, and this young man on the screen said, "Hey, can you go over there and walk that young lady over here? She's gonna be coming around." And I'm like, "She can walk herself." but I mean, he's a man. He was like, "Hey, the young lady's coming around. Can you go walk her over?" I'm like, "In these shoes." Will. But no, I get it.
In these shoes.
I know that.
You know he's gonna make. He's gonna make an effect.
Man, I know he's doing.
He's gonna make some changes.
I know he's doing.
My last thing I want to ask is, for you 3 men here, what is just one quick message that you would like to give to young boys or women? You know what I'm saying? What is about just masculinity? Because the girls need to know it too before they send out. He ain't shit. He ain't this. And excuse my language, but don't, because y'all heard that word. But these are things that y'all are hearing right now in life. He ain't this, he ain't blah, 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 blah. He ain't no man, he ain't blah, blah. Whatever. What is just something that you want them to leave with? This is our last question. We ending it. What is one thing that you want these young people to know? To know about just masculinity in general, toxic masculinity, whatever it is, however you want to put it.
Anton, you go first.
All right, I'll tap in. I really love speaking to women, and this goes back. I don't know if anybody's ever read the Willie Lynch letter, but it broke me down for one day, and it told me that the woman is the first teacher of the child. Mm-hmm. So anytime I think about subjects like this, I think firstly about women. I say, ma'am, listen to me very closely. You are the very first teacher of this child. What you install in this child, these early ages, is going to this child's going to have for the rest of his life, no matter boy, girl, whatever. But you have to understand that there are a lot of things that you don't know about boys when they grow up into becoming man. And because of that, you have to be able to put your pride to the side, your ego to the side, and say, I need to get you around the positive male example. So that's the one thing that I always say to women. To all the young boys, I always say, listen, this world is teaching you every negative example of what it means to be a man. They're teaching you every wrong way how to handle your anger. They're teaching you every wrong way how to handle women. They're teaching you every wrong way to handle every situation. It's time for you to start recognizing that. And once you recognize that, you have to start pushing yourself into the direction of who you want to be. And if that's the type of man that you want to be, then continue to listen to the same music, continue to listen to the same examples. Well, the moment you determine that you want to be a better man, then you have to realize that the examples that you're listening to, the people that are surrounding you, you have to separate yourself from that. You have to make that change. And that's when you truly enter to your true masculinity, because it's hard to separate from those toxic people because that energy is different. You know, everybody's promoting it. That energy has been normalized so much within just our culture alone that it's hard to differentiate what's right and what's wrong, you know? And because of that, I always say, hey, walk away when you're ready. Because it's gonna be hard for a boy to walk away because, you know, those are his friends, them his partners, but every single one of them is teaching you something negative. So I say that to the young boys, understand that the examples that are around you are wrong. I say to the mothers of the sons that boy needs a positive role model because we're going to absorb that. Being a boy who absorbed plenty of positive male role models to become who I am today. I tell people I love my mother to death. She kept me alive, but she didn't raise me. Mm-hmm. She kept me alive, but she didn't raise me because the positive male role models around me are the ones who got me to where I'm at today.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Dante, what you got for these people out here? Real quick, give it to us.
I personally don't have anything, but I am going to pull from the Brown School of Psychology.
All right.
So what they say, and I agree with, is that your ideal of a man, right, whether it be yourself or someone else, this goes for males and females, should not be based on strength, lack of emotion, right, their ability or your ability to be self-sufficient, or your level of dominance. They say another one, but I don't feel like it's appropriate.
Okay.
Or your level of dominance. None of those things make you a man, or it should not be what illustrates your mental display of what a man should be, right? So, or what masculinity should be. You know, you can be a productive male or a productive person, largely father or other things, without having an influx of any of those things, right? You can be a man and be emotionally vulnerable, right? Which is normal. You could be a man who who may not be physically or mentally strong, because we all have places we can grow, and you can be a man without exuding or having a flood of dominance in situations. So just remember that. I think you'll be all right.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir.
I don't have an hour, but I'll try to put it into small words,
Real quick,
little words as I
let's
can,
go.
real quick.
Give me
'Cause
something.
I can do this for an hour, but
Okay, listen.
hey, look, because I look, but this is to the single moms, and I said eventually I'm gonna end up writing a book, because I want to write a book about to the single mothers. You don't have to kill yourselves to be a mother. You don't have to be a man to be a mother to a son.
Come on.
You do what you can, and that's enough. That suffices. That's I guarantee you that suffices. You don't have to buy that kid extra stuff because his dad ain't there. You don't have to do extra things and love on him extra hard because his dad isn't there. You can just be the mom to the best of your ability and however that looks for you. And I guarantee you that will suffice. He's going to need those male role models, whether you do that or not. So you over coddling him or over loving him or thinking gifts will help him get to where he needs to be won't be it. He's going to need that male role model. And it's unfortunate if he doesn't have it currently, but he's going to need that. So to the women who are raising young boys, keep your head up. Get someone who you love and who you trust to give you advice and push forward. But don't think that the world that's telling you that, oh, well, I'm a mother and a dad. You're a mom. You're a mom. You're a great mom. And you can be an even greater mom with just doing what you need to do, and that's it. Yep. To the young men who are struggling or battling things, it's okay to ask for help. It's okay not to be okay. I wish I could go back and tell myself that. I would be so far ahead of the game right now and be so more developed. And it took something traumatic happening. And I hate that I had to go through that, but I thank God for it every day.
Come on,
so
man.
I don't want you to have to go through something traumatic for it to trigger that you are great in who you are. You just got to find out who you are.
It's not there.
When you find, and it'll come. Be patient. Be patient with yourself, young men. Get underneath a mentor. Find a mentor or a tutelage of someone who is beyond great and positive and speaks life into you. That's how you'll know. Even when you're down or even when they're giving you critiques, it'll be in love and they'll speak life to you in that moment. When you find that person, that's who you're gonna want to stay around. I found that person in my pastor who could correct me and make me feel like I ain't doing nothing and then speak nothing but life into my life right after he gave me that rebuke. So find you a mentor or a group of young men who you could be around that will speak life into you. And to men and women, find that genuine people, that group that you can just fall and they'll catch you.
That's it.
Woo!
That's it there.
Listen. At the Angels Online, we get the right people in, but we get the good people, Y'all the kids, I just want y'all to know I ain't going to give you nobody bad now. We ain't going to waste your time. Time is of the essence. I ain't wasting nobody's time. Well, y'all men just spoke noise to these young boys and these young women out here. And not only that, to adults as well, because there are adults who are not even on this level, who have no idea, who are still trying to figure themselves out. So hopefully we motivated, influence, and inspire some people out here. Ladies and gentlemen, that is episode 7 of season 3. And you know, before we leave, everybody got to give me a good people. And we're going to start on Zoom right here. We're going to start with Anton. Anton, give me a good people.
Give me. Good people.
Dante, give me a good people.
Good people.
Okay. Great. Good people.
Hey, good people.
Well, listen here, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all can find me at The Angels Online, LLC on YouTube, at The Angels Online on Facebook and Instagram. And you can go to www.theangelsonline.org for more information. If you got a topic that you want to hear about, young people or adults, info at theangelsonline.org. And you know what I'm going to leave you with? Good people. You got to get a people what they want. Woo!